Okay, he's kind of a celebrity. He's kind of a big deal in the cannabis space right now because he's got this buddy that he hangs out Royce with all the time. So it's quite a catch in this community. We have John Prentice, the CEO and founder of Pinnerz.
Awesome. Thanks, Jackie.
Everybody knows what a pinner is, right?
I hope so.
Like, yeah, that's
awesome branding.
That's a legendary old school,
right?
The pinner.
I mean, that's what Jackie always does. She always just has a little bit of weed left in the sandwich bag, and she has to roll a pinner because she doesn't have enough for a full coat.
I'm pretty sure that was my whole high school experience. Like, I couldn't afford more than like a pinner's worth of weed at a time, so you really got to make it count.
Why don't you tell us how Pinnerz came about? Was that what it was? You just loved a pinner, or how did you think of? You're the founder. How did Pinnerz happen?
Yeah, so it was me and a friend. I'm big into cars and like fixing mechanical things. We're at the shop like on a Thursday night. It's like 11 o'clock. We're both tired, and we're burnt out. And we're like, geez, like why do they make these joints so freaking big? Like I don't need to smoke a baseball
bat. Why do I need a giant
every time?
cone?
I want to get like a little high. You know, it's too much. So, really, Pinnerz was just trying to do something different and make a smaller joint and something that's a little more easy for a daily user and you know, kind of picks you up through the day.
I love it because, you know, I don't like to roll a big joint and then like say I only want to smoke a little bit, then I have to put it out. That smell after, like, I don't like it.
Oh, no one likes it coffee.
Yeah. So I rather have, you know, roll a small joint and smoke it all. So I love Pinnerz. How it you know, how you thought of that, and I think it's it's really good.
There's the 3 offerings right now in Pinnerz, correct?
That's right.
Yellow, blue, and purple. Tell us what those are.
Yeah, so we got, you know, 3 SKUs. Each one's a little different. So instead of focusing on strain name bingo and trying to sell you whatever strain name's hot right now, we focus on 3 great profiles.
Okay.
So the first one's yellow. It's fruity. So we're always going out curating, hand selecting what is the most fruity weed that we can find right now.
Okay.
We bring that into our facility with great care. We mill it. We pre-humidify our packaging. We do everything to preserve the quality because I'm a big proponent. Quality in is quality out.
Right.
So that's our yellows are the fruity. The blue is a gassy profile. So, you know, I try to equate them a little bit. Like it's kind of like a sativa and indica in that, you know, yellow is what you think a sativa should be, light and pungent and kind of, you know, fruity and what a fresh summer day sort of feel. And then you got this blue, which is heavy and full bodied and very indica feeling and gassy and all that stuff. So if you like the couch lock, the blue is probably the joint for you. And then we've got Purple Balance, which is
it's quite nice. Quite nice.
I'm really proud of that one. Because it was directly conceived as a result of direct bud tender feedback. You know, talking to bud tenders, this is what they wanted. They wanted a great balanced joint. They loved how the blues and the yellows smoked, but they wanted a balanced one. So we brought Pinnrz Purple, and it tastes, in my mind, like grape Kool-Aid.
It does taste like grape Kool-Aid, but it's nice. It's got a smooth, well, it's balanced. So it's like, even though like I've smoked something that is a grape, but a pungent grape, like the balance is a really nice, smooth grape flavor. Like I really like it actually.
Yeah, and I like how you've kind of made these categories.
That's so different, right?
Yeah, but it allows you to curate the best on the market rate at that time that fits that category. So it's a good business move too.
Well, and I think, you know, it helps reduce our supply chain shock because there's lots of weed out there, so we can go out and find weed. Now, obviously, good weed is a little harder to find, and that's okay. We'll do that work. But, you know, cannabis is a varietal, so it's always changing. There's always new phenotypes and strains and different, you know, varietals coming out. And I think those are evolutions on flavor and the plant. So always use the best that's available.
Yeah. How do you do that? Is it like a committee, or like we talk to other LPs that do something similar, and you know they say like it goes through, you know, a committee of finding, this is what, you know, we're gonna move into our next
I'd say committee, I guess. I mean, ultimately, the buck stops.
You and Amy.
No, the buck stops with me.
Okay.
If I don't like it, it's not going out the door, period. Amy is a very close second to that. She's a huge, like the yellows, I mean, we like to run those by Amy and make sure, you know, she's on board with those. That's her favorite flavor. She knows how that's supposed to taste.
Right.
And, but Adam is really the guy in the building and in the business that goes around is constantly talking to growers, seeing what's coming out.
He talks to bud tenders. He talks to the growers.
Big time.
And I mean, in the few experiences I've had with Adam, and we pulled me aside and he's asked me like questions. I'm like, is this a test? But it's like questions that he really wants to know and what people are looking for and talking about and thinking of. Like they put a lot. You know how we're saying right now, the people with the story, and we're like, oh, the marketing play on some of them, those are the guys that are gonna, like, and you have to have a good product. But Pinnerz has thought of a lot of things to make this icon, this is popping in an industry that is full of weed.
Totally, and I think the reason is we're not trying to be anything but what we are. We're very authentic, we're very genuine. We really take that role of going and finding you good weed very seriously. We treat that weed with the utmost respect through the entire manufacturing process, and we have a team that loves what they do. And when you combine those things, I think the product embodies that, and that authenticity helps build an attachment to the brand. We're not out trying to pull the wool over your eyes or smoke and mirrors. We just really want to make great joints that you're going to love to smoke.
So making joints that small, have you had any problems, or like did you have to solve stuff? Do you need special rolling machines?
Like that's a really good question.
Yeah, I can talk about that a little bit.
That's a really good question.
This is, we're gonna go down the rabbit hole for a minute because you've like found the tip of the iceberg. It's really friggin' hard. When you look at joints on the market right now that typically are kind of poorly packed, that's because they need to grind that weed up really small to get it in the tube. Otherwise it clogs and the tube all falls apart, or the cone gets crushed. And they typically pack these things using vibration. So they got this big shaky plate. The cones sit on top. You all seen the future roll and stuff, right? It's just shaky, and the weed falls into that. And that's
absolutely.
And sometimes they'll tamp the very top,
right?
And then they'll twist them off and they'll send them out. And that's typically how joints are made. We don't do any of that, and we do it completely differently. So we have a very fancy milling system that we can control the grain size of every single grain of cannabis that comes out.
Wow.
And we try to make it as big as possible because we want nice, big, chunky pieces of weed in there. And then we ram that weed down in little plugs right to the filter. So every time we're stacking a plug on top of each other, that's compressed equally.
Oh my goodness, listen to this.
And that's what makes it smoke so well. So, and
is that patent pending, or?
Yeah, it's definitely all patented tech. And the cool thing about it is, when we started with the cones, we had this really good idea, like, yeah, we're gonna make a smaller joint. We're so smart, ha ha ha, look at us. Then we found out like there's only 4 companies or so in the world that actually make the rolling paper cones. There's about 8,000 companies that will tell you they make the cones.
But there's only 4 that really do.
There's only 4 real ones. So it was like, try to find
get to the source.
Yeah, get to the source, and playing like Among Us or something and try to find the right guy. And so that took a really long time. And then figuring out how to get the weed in there as well. So it's way more complicated than one would think. We
Absolutely.
had proprietary cones, proprietary packing technology, and a really skilled team. It's not just general labor in there that are making these cones. Like if you see our twisting tables, you'll see Pingineers. That's what we call them.
Pingineers.
Working the line, and they'll have 6 or 8 joints in their hands at a time, and they'll be working on 6 or 7 joints simultaneously in their hands, which I can't do. It's phenomenal to watch. So I'd encourage you guys, if you ever want to come out to the facility and you want to meet our Pingineers.
We do want to meet your Pingineers.
See all this in action.
Yeah.
We want to smoke some Pinnerz and out back with the Pingineers.
Yeah, right. Well, come on, we'll have a
drive
picnic.
around in the Royce.
Yeah, totally.
Is that his name?
Royce? Yeah, Royce. Yeah, we'll put you in the back of Royce. We'll take you out to Bowmanville, show you the facility, have a great day with the Pingineers.
I want to do it. I want to smoke some. And we want yellow, blue, and purple. That's what it is. Yellow, blue, and purple that day, right, Derek? We want to try one of each.
Absolutely.
Right.
We got to sample them all.
Secret menu item is smoking all 3 simultaneously. It does something really cool.
Oh, really?
That's how you get superpowers.
That's how you get superpowers. You're so funny. What's coming next for Pinnerz? Can you give us a secret?
Yeah, sure can. So June 9th, we're shipping in our next SKU into Ontario.
Which exciting.
It's very exciting. So we've been asked a lot for bigger packs. So those are coming. We have a 14 pack mixtape coming. So it'll be 7 blues, 7 yellows, 1 box.
Mixtape.
The mixtape.
Like
and then hopefully in the fall, right now we're experimenting with a test line of milled flower, featuring the same weed that's in the Pinnerz in a milled format that you can just throw in your bong or self-roll, and you'll get those great flavor profiles right out of the bag, right into your bong, if you prefer bongs to joints.
Cool.
Have you ever thought about because
cool.
it feels like almost like a lifestyle brand. It could be like, do you ever think about maybe making accessories like, like that like long cigarette holder that like, but with a pin or
Some
something?
iconic smoking accessories.
Exactly.
Iconic accessories.
This is a lifestyle, like I don't know.
100%.
I was thinking like dice in my mirror. Whenever I see the Pinnerz, I think if that should be your marketing stuff. You should have those dice, those shaggy dice that people put in the mirror. That could be your Pinnerz brand
cool.
stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff, and
we're working on something really cool, and that's exactly in line with this whole idea. And it's going to come with our milled flour. So just wait.
Will you tell us the name of the milled flour or no?
It's literally called Pinnrz milled flour.
Oh, Pinnrz milled flour. That's not. There you go. Nothing.
What do you mean? So what are you saying? It's not rolled?
It's not rolled. So
no, it's like shred.
It's like shred. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which is a hot. Look at Derek doesn't like it.
Yeah,
it's hot as hell. They tell us in every store it's their number one seller.
I get it.
It's convenient. Right?
Yeah, it's very convenient, and I get it. But it's just like, I don't know. It's a ritual of actually breaking up the weed and rolling it yourself.
Yeah, but I started a pre-roll company. I don't want to do your ritual.
Right.
I want to reach into my pocket. I want to get my joints and I want to smoke them.
Right.
While you're rolling your joint all silly like in the corner.
So I guess that's for the person who wants bigger than a pinner, but wants your same curation of great weed.
That's right.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, exactly. Like we go out there, we're trying to find you the Freshie Fresh and bring that in. If you like that flower and you like how a pinner tastes, but you're a bong smoker or you like to roll your own baseball bats or blunts or whatever it is you're doing at home, that's really what this product's targeted at.
Nice. So, like, does anybody ever say, like, because it's not, I don't know, like, it could be a different strain I'm getting with the same pack, 2 months from now, right? So does anybody ever, like, in your research, like, is anybody ever like, oh, well, I kind of like this one more, or like, I don't know, like, I'm trying to figure out what, because it's not consistent in a sense that, like, it's consistent. You're curating the best weed on the market at that time. I get that. But it's like, if I, for instance, like maybe one time it was this strain A, and now this time it's strain B, which is similar, but like, or do you work it with the terpenes? Like, how do you make that selection to make it so that people feel like they're getting the same product?
Yeah, well, side-by-side testing is the biggest thing, right? So we keep some product from older batches. We test that next to new batches, right?
Yeah.
So we can say, like, this is how the flavor is evolving, right?
The feeling. And
I fully expect some people will have some favorites that, may come and go. And that's okay. But reliably, you're going to get a great smoking experience every single time, and you'll never get strain locked. Because it does change a little bit.
Yeah,
and it does have a little bit of spice, a little bit of variety. And
strain locked is a big thing.
Strain lock is a big thing. You smoke, you go buy your pink Kush, and pretty soon after a week, you're like, this isn't working for me anymore.
We had Andy on from Canna Cabana, and they gave some stats like the average person only buys the same strain like 2 times, and then they're gone.
Yeah, and I believe that. I don't know the number.
Not if they're in love with it, though, right? Like if they've fallen in love with the brand story and the messaging and they love the product and they love the whatever, like you're doing. Like Derek touched on he said a lifestyle. When a company becomes a lifestyle brand, I think that's when you get the repeat and you get the get the loyalty and you get the. Don't you agree that that's?
Yeah, I would say so.
You've become a lifestyle, a recognizable brand.
What is your
working on it?
What is your like? Who buys it the most?
Demographic.
Like, demographic, men or women?
Oh,
I bet women.
That's what I think, because it seems like a little thing that you can always have in your clutch.
Remember, I like the Ray cans.
I see so many women, they love Pinnerz.
It's right down the middle.
Oh, okay, really?
It's not really one side or the other. We get a lot of great feedback from both men and women. I think the biggest type of consumer that loves a pinner is somebody that smokes a lot of joints every day. They're small, they're convenient, they're in your pocket, and you can just kind of hit them and go. Right. And, if you're a daily kind of, you're working in a kitchen or something and you're
and you got a 15-minute break.
You got a 15-minute break.
Factory work.
But you don't want a dog walker because that's over in like 5 seconds, right? And that's
you don't want to out it and then have that stench in your pocket. So you smoke a pinner and then get back to work.
And that's it. And so that's resonating really well. Like we've got a lot of kitchen workers that come into the local dispensaries around my house.
Nice.
Obviously, you've got people who've got like little clutches or evening bags. They love the small format. We get a lot of, that's a very cute box.
Right.
That's another thing.
I like the little box with it's 6 or is it 8?
Yeah, 6 in there.
6 in there. Okay.
And then we're going up to the 14.
To 14, up to the 14. Would you know a price point roughly for the 14 pack?
It's, I think, if I remember right, it's approximately double, but you're getting 2 extra joints.
Oh,
So it is,
okay.
you do get, it is a little cheaper on a
But you're
per
getting 2
joint
extra
basis.
joints, right?
Correct.
Okay, yeah. That's I bet you. And if people were asking, I could see it. I mean, I go through them pretty fast, so.
Totally. and of course, it depends on
Jackie
your
lights
retailer,
one
too.
from the other.
Can you believe I've gotten that far in life? Wow.
It
Thank you so much, Derek, for pointing that out all the time. The best, usually as big as he can amplify Jackie's disaster of a life. There's my shit show music. You heard that? Yeah. Well, I'm Pinnerz. Okay, so you're gonna have the mill. Did we call it milled flour?
Yeah, milled flour.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that'll
milled?
be hopefully coming out in the fall.
So did you, now correct me if I'm wrong, you did that because the ritual of pre-rolls, people like to pre-roll. Well, now you've fallen in love with the pinner, that's already pre-rolled. So how about the pinner family offer you the flour that then you go back to your ritual and roll yourself your own little pinner?
100%.
Like, so you keep them in the little family. They're
That's
all
right.
in there,
And
right?
we stand by our flour. We know it's good stuff.
And we
in
know it's
there,
good
and, and it's going to taste really good, whether it's milled or it's in a joint.
There you go. And it's Pinnerz. Derek?
Yeah, I love it.
Love it. Okay, where can we find you guys on social?
At Pinnerz on Twitter, on Instagram.
Does
on
Royce have his
TikTok.
own pinner, his own socials?
No, not yet.
You should
ironically.
have one.
I think we're going to be working on
anytime someone sits in a pinner in the mobile, you should have a video or a picture. You guys should
Okay.
be building that content
All right, we will.
as a backup page for
All right.
sure. Plus, it's fun. It engages the community. Looks for your car, so when it's spotted, they could always post it and you tag that they spotted it. So
Mm-hmm.
they might not be a smoker. They might have just went, "Oh my God, I know that car. That's the Pinnerz car, and it's outside the movie theater." They take a
Totally.
picture. You guys, you're going to create more engagement and more community around that lifestyle brand because I think Pinnerz is more than just a joint.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. That means a lot.
So, well, thank you for joining us on the Green Room here at O Cannabis. Derek, did you have anything last?
No, I think we got it all.
It's like, I think I'm going to go smoke a
Are we going
pinner.
to smoke some Pinnerz today? Is that the
Let's
plan?
do it.
Okay, let's make it happen.
Thanks for joining us at O Cannabis 2022, the Green Room, Derek and myself, and John Prentice from Pinnerz.
Boom.
Thanks. Peace. Peace out.
Awesome.